Hello, my name is Braxton Silva. Today we're going to be going over something called quadratic formula. Quadratic formula! Hooray! That was supposed to be confetti. Did not look like confetti. Now, let's get into this. I'm going to move a little closer. Move this way. Okay. Now, what is quadratic formula used for? Quadratic formula is used for quadratic equations. And what do quadratic equations look like? They look like this. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That is a quadratic equation. Okay. And you use quadratic formula to solve these equations. Now what does quadratic formula look like? It looks like this. Wait, big. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and then all of that over 2a. That is quadratic formula. Okay. Now just to erase all that. Okay. Now let's get into an example of quadratic formula used for a quadratic equation. Now the quadratic equation I'm going to use is 1x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. This is the quadratic equation we're going to be dealing with right here. I use this equation a lot for quadratic formula examples. So let's get into it. First, we have to find out our variables, a, b, and c. A, b, and c. Let's find out what they are. A is always going to be the coefficient in front of x squared. So that is, in this case, 1. And b is always going to be the coefficient in front of x. So in this case, it is negative 5. And c is always going to be the constant, or the number by itself, which in this case is negative 6. So here are your variables. This property is always going to be played for every quadratic formula equation used for quadratic equations. Now let's get into the equation itself. Okay. X equals. Alright, I wrote that very small. I might want to write a little bigger, because I am going to. X equals negative b, negative 5. Negative of negative 5. There we go. Plus or minus. And then a very long square root. The square root of b squared, negative 5 squared, minus 4 times a times c. So 4 times 1. And then negative 6. And then all of that over, that's a terrible line, 2a. I'm going to fix that line. Terrible. That's a little better. Right. Now let's use a bunch of math stuff and simplify this. Negative of negative 5 is just positive 5. So 5 plus or minus. And then the square root of, let's simplify the square root. Negative 5 squared, negative 5 times negative 5 gives you positive 25. Whoops, almost dropped my whiteboard. And negative 4 times 1. Wait, did I put 1? Yep, negative 4 times Yeah, negative 4. I thought I put that wrong. Sorry. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And negative 4 times negative 6 is going to be positive 24. And all of that over 2. Oh, and by the way, A is 1. I didn't write that down, but whatever. So 2 times 1 is just 2. Now let's keep more. Let's keep simplifying. Okay. Oops. That was shaky. So 5 plus or minus stays the same, because there's no way to simplify that. And then square root of 25 plus 24 is 49 over 2. I keep drawing lines so bad. Sorry. Now we can start actually getting our answers. This has 2 answers. Color this in right here. Sorry. Now let's get into the answers. It crouched down here. Alright, 5 plus the square root of 49. The square root of 49 is 7, so this is going to be 5 plus 7 over 2. What the heck was that? I have no idea what that was. But 5 plus 7 equals 12 over 2. And 12 over 2 is just 6. So that's our first solution. Now let's get into our second solution over here. Minus. Oopsie daisy. So 5 minus 7 is going to be negative 2 over 2. There's your equation. And then negative 2 over 2 is just, what is that? Yep, negative 2 over 2. Negative 2 over 2 is just negative 1. So there are the 2 solutions to 1x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. That's quadratic formula for you. Thank you for watching this. Sorry, I drew a lot of stuff very bad. This is not an 8. This was meant to be a 7. There we go. That looks much better. In the next video, we're going to be going over another example of quadratic formula. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.